Is the last topic we're going to talk about. A lot of this material was from a keynote that I went to from a guy named Daniel Pink, who wrote a book on timing. He's got some cool stuff on motivation too, but this one was on timing. And there were some interesting takeaways that impact when we want to interview. Let me show you some of the references that he had. He observed that there's natural peaks and valleys as we go throughout the day. Most of us will peak sometime in the morning, and then we taper off down into the afternoon, which is this afternoon slump we've been experiencing a little bit, and then it starts to come back up in the evening. That difference between the peak and the valley, the performance change between those two is about the same as the difference between drinking the legal limit of alcohol. That's how big the gap is. His takeaway from that is to think about that in terms of what you're doing on your daily job, maybe some more menial administrative tasks when you don't have to be at your peak performance. But what implications does this have for us when we're trying to interview? Here's another one that he talks about. Corporate executives communicating with investors, they concluded that you should do your decision making earlier in the day while you're at the peak performance. This one was really interesting to me, though. Peaks and valleys, but this is judges granting paroles to individuals. And you'll see in the morning, at the beginning, there's some peaks and valleys, but it's tapering down as the judge is getting tired. He'll get a break, and they start granting more paroles again. Starts tapering down, not granting as many paroles. Break, oh, now I'm granting them again.
But overall, on the whole day, it's continuing
trending downwards. If
so
we were in a job,
you're going to have a parole, have it at 9 in the morning.
Yeah, and maybe you don't have much choice in it. So if you want to get interviewed, I kind of want to be up in this area. You don't always have a choice, but if you can try to get to be one of the first ones during the day, then they're going to be more lenient and they're going to like you more. And if you don't have a choice in the matter, then take them out to lunch again or breakfast.
Okay. I don't know if we talked about much the primacy effect of the first and the last thing that people will remember is it's always the first or the last thing out of a whole bunch of things, the first and the last. So if you're first, it's a good benefit for you.
Which reminds me, did we miss the primacy effect thing? Did that fall out of my slides?
I think it might have.
I think it fell between the cracks in the couches.
Oh, it's weird.
I'm going to touch on that at the end because that's really cool.
Yeah.
Primacy effect. So timing, I like to do it early in the day. I'm going to skip through some of this. So the time of day is a consideration. What she was referring to too is position in a lineup. Primacy effect and recency effect say that we'll tend to remember the first something in a list or the last thing. You think about all those BYU interns that were coming in for interviews. I don't remember hardly any of them in the middle, as much as I try. I remember the first and the last because of this effect. So if you can try to get yourself positioned at the beginning, you'll be more memorable.